Skip to the 1 minute mark if you don't want to hear the bullshit. Some of you asked me to make a video about the AA. I'm studying at the AA.
Yeah, I'm in London.
The AA is not a school that sells visual, so the work they are not all visually stunning, but the argument behind it, it's always spot on. And they're tackling social issues, they're tackling cultural problems. Alright, so let's get right into it. Diploma 10. It has a long tradition. It goes all the way back to 1980s. And the Diploma unit master, Carlos, who I saw all the time on third floor, by the way. And the theme of the unit is direct urbanism. So I don't know what that is, but their site is always in London. And this specific project is about urban renewal in King's Cross district. The point of this drawing is not about how appealing it looks, but about the story it tells, which is about the negotiation and reconciliation of different councils, different stakeholders, and the paperwork and policies that are involved. And that can be seen by the way he represents the paperwork as well as the design drawings. But I don't think you need a physical table and lay the papers all out. Life could be much easier with Photoshop. Google King's Cross development, you'll find a government's plan. Also Google office paper working hand and paperclip as the source images for Photoshop. Open a new Photoshop file. Drag the government's diagrams in. To make them look like pieces of paper on a table, we can go into a layer style and drop shadow. Also drag in the paperclip and get rid of the background. Duplicate several of them and drop shadows so that they look like they're stacking on top of each other. Also add the working hand and remove the background. I isolate the shadow part and put on a threshold adjustment layer so that the shadow itself can be multiplied onto the things underneath. Add the text in and also use the multiply in layer style so that they blend in with each other. I'm adding a little touch of shadow to make it look more real. Go to Google Maps style where you can get black and white side drawing, screen capture and put it in Photoshop. I'm going to use Magic Wand to select different shades of gray, add an outline stroke to it so that it looks like a line drawing. Now link the Photoshop file to Illustrator so that we can add the lines. Well, first of all, overlay a grid on it. Second of all, you can use the hatch pattern in Illustrator to draw the hatch area. In this case, I rotated the default hedge by 45 degrees to create the oblique red hedge and also draw some houses. Also add some red dots for the public area, I believe. What about some yellow patches of color for nothing but contrasting color? What about some epicenters for earthquake? You got a red one and blue one. Students nowadays always have these cruciforms right beside their texts. Link the Illustrator file into Photoshop so that you can actually link them by right-clicking on the layer and relink to file. And this way, whenever you have changes in the Illustrator file, the corresponding Photoshop file will change accordingly, just like that. Give it an opaque background so that it stands out more from the paperwork. Boom, there you have it. And this is the original.